You want to win her back. Stoics want to win themselves back. That one sentence holds the difference between obsession and mastery. The average man, when abandoned, scrambles. He texts, he begs, he spirals. But a Stoic man, he disappears, not to hide, but to rebuild. In this video, you'll understand why silence isn't weakness, it's your forge. Let's talk about how solitude turns loss into strength and why women, especially younger women, are drawn to men who've walked through fire alone and never complained. Reason 1. Silence exposes the noise. When the world goes quiet, you start hearing the war inside your own head. You begin to notice how much of your identity was wrapped up in her approval. You didn't just lose her, you lost the version of you that needed her. Most men avoid silence. They fill it with distractions, dating apps, late nights, pointless texts. But a Stoic man knows silence is the arena. It's where you face yourself. And in that stillness, you begin to see things clearly. How you ignored the red flags, how you compromised your standards, how your validation depended on her attention. Older men understand this better than younger men. You've lived enough to see patterns. You know that comfort often leads to compromise. When you sit with the silence, you stop reacting and start observing. You realize the panic wasn't love, it was addiction. And that clarity, that space between emotion and action, is where Stoicism lives. Reason 2. Solitude builds the most attractive trait. You know what younger men often lack? Presence. They're frantic, loud, constantly proving themselves. But women, especially younger women, feel when a man is rooted, not reactive, not performative, just still, present. That's what silence gives you. When you're alone, you don't have to pretend. No performance, no flexing, just you, your thoughts, and your standard. And here's the truth. Stillness is powerful. Stillness signals control. That's why a Stoic man walks into a room, and younger women smile without knowing why. He's not chasing. He's not talking to be heard. He's simply there, fully. Because solitude taught him that his company has value. He doesn't need to entertain or impress. He understands what's rare, peace. And peace is magnetic. Men who've gone through hell and found calm on the other side, they walk differently. They make eye contact differently. They don't fold under pressure, and women feel that. Reason 3. Control is more attractive than charisma. You can have charm, you can have stories. But if you can't regulate your emotions, you become a liability. Stoicism trains you in the most important form of attraction: self-control. The ability to remain unshaken, not cold, but grounded. Let me be clear. This isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming unreactive. There's a difference. When she says something sharp, you don't bite. When she tests your frame with silence or attitude, you don't flinch. Because you've practiced in solitude. You've faced your own storms in silence. And now a sideways comment doesn't move you. Women test men, not because they're cruel, but because they're wired to seek stability. They smile subtly, ask loaded questions, go cold, and they watch. If you chase, if you fumble, if you beg, you fail the test. But when you remain composed, still, thoughtful, she sees a man who doesn't just talk strength. He embodies it. Reason 4. Rock bottom is where standards are forged. When you've lost everything, her, the job, maybe even your home, you either fold or you find something immovable inside. That's what Stoicism teaches. Not to suppress the pain, but to discipline it. You use it. You start asking, what did I tolerate that I shouldn't have? What habits weakened me? Where did I abandon myself? And slowly, methodically, you begin the rebuild. Not flashy, not for social media, but quiet, internal, steady. You get your finances back in order. You wake up early, not for motivation, but for discipline. You train your body, your thoughts, your reactions, and something changes. You stop chasing women who don't respect you. You stop making excuses for disrespect. You stop fearing being alone, because now you have standards, forged in silence, refined by hardship, upheld by experience, and that is what makes you attractive to younger women. Not because you're older, but because you're wiser. Reason 5. You become the man you were pretending to be. 1400. Here's the secret. The version of you she fell for was probably a projection, a highlight reel, a potential. But the version you become through Stoicism, that's real. In silence, you stop pretending to be calm and actually become calm. You stop acting confident and become confident, because it's no longer about her seeing you a certain way. It's about you seeing yourself differently. And ironically, when you stop trying to prove your worth, the world starts to notice it, especially women, especially the ones who are tired of noise, chaos, and emotional boys in grown men's bodies. They gravitate toward the man who doesn't chase, but leads, the man who doesn't explain, but embodies, the man who doesn't beg to be chosen because he already chooses himself. That's the power of silence. It reveals the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. The forge of the Stoic man. If she left, let her. If you lost, learn. If you're alone, use it. Because every Stoic man was forged in silence. And if you embrace it, not run from it, you'll come out with something stronger than validation. You'll come out with self-respect. And here's the twist. By the time she realizes what you've become, you won't need her to, because you won't be that man who lost her. You'll be the man who found himself. If you're in that silent phase right now, stay in it. Train in it. Let it change you. Because the world doesn't need more desperate men. It needs disciplined ones, rooted ones, quietly powerful ones. Leave a comment below if this spoke to something deep in you. Like the video if it gave you clarity. And subscribe, because this is your place to rise, not retreat. We're building something solid here. Welcome to the Forge.